Hello everyone, now let us solve this problem and understand this problem in HackerRank called Java if else. So actually this problem is really easy. I'm assuming that if you're solving this problem then you're newbies to Java, so or HackerRank as well. So I'll explain to you all how to solve the problem in basic steps, not complex things. So remember, first of all they just give us some theory in HackerRank. By basically this is the context to what is the problem and what theory do you need to understand for solving this problem. So then the task is really easy. I'm going to come to it. The input format, that is whatever input you're going to take, they're just going to give the format how the input is going to be. That is in this case just n obviously. Then the output, whatever output do they want. So remember, now let us see the task. So you can do one thing while solving any problem. It is better to have a notebook with you, or any rough whatever you want with you, so that you just get the layout. Or you can use Notepad as well, which I'm going to use in this way. So see, when I open Notepad, see there are two conditions. When n is odd, then we have to print out weird, and that's all that we have to do if n is odd. But if n is even, we have to do all these three conditions, or do whatever they have told us. So if n is odd and even, we have to divide it in two parts. So I actually did that. So see, when it is odd, then this condition whatever it is, and then when it is even, we have to do all these three things. Odd means w means that is weird, I am saying. That is, if it is n is odd, then we have to print out weird. You need to understand what it is, so I am going slowly. You can just skip forward to the solution if you want. So if it is even, you can say that it is from 2 to 5. Then see, remember, I'm showing it all over here. If n is even, then you have to do these things. So if it is even, then 2 to 5 means not weird, 6 to 20 means weird, and greater than 20 means not weird. That's all you have to do. Fine. Now let us jump away and solve the problem. I'm going to solve it by using IntelliJ. You can use Eclipse or whatever you want. I like IntelliJ because there are many shortcuts. Like for example, if I write main away and hit enter, you'll get this class or method directly, not class, method. This is the class or the name of the Java file that you have. So it will be different whatever name that you give to your file. This is the main method, and inside it, first of all, you have to define a scanner object because you have to take in n, right? So for defining a scanner object, just write scanner, which is a class with S capital. You can write the name of the object to be scanner, that is with small s or whatever you want. That is, you can write it as s, you can write it as input, whatever you want. Equals to, now you will have to write a new keyword to give it new memory or new space. Scanner object, right? So inside scanner, you just have to write system.in to get the input. Fine. In this way, we declared an object for taking input. Now we'll have to define integer n and take in input. So you can give a semicolon and write n equals to scanner dot, but you can do this on the same line. So write integer n equals to scanner object, which is this case. See, it got highlighted directly. Scanner object means this thing. Scanner, just write dot and you write next integer. Next integer means integer n, because we are going to take in input as integer, right? Remember. So away you can see the input format is they have told us single line containing a positive integer n. That's why we took next int. In this way, we take in n as input. Now you have to use two if condition. That is, sorry, not two if and else. So if n is odd, you have to do one thing, and if it is even, then you have to do one thing. That's all that you have to do. So first of all, let us check if n is odd. So if n is, for n to be odd, there is a simple condition. If n modulo 2, if it is not equal to 0, which means that it is odd. So if it is not equal to 0, which means it is odd, and we have to print out weird. So in Eclipse, if just to write s out, then it will, and hit enter, it will give us this statement directly, that is system.out.println, and we have to print out weird. And after that, else, right? So in else statement, it is really easy. Inside the block, remember, if n is not odd, that means that it is even. So if it is not odd, that means this condition is not satisfied. That means this block of code will not function at all, and the controller will go to this else statement. And inside this else block, whatever you write, it means that n is going to be even. So for n to be, so we check this condition. So you can just erase it off, and we checked for even as well. So but inside even you have to do all these things. So inside even you'll have to one more time use if, else if, and else statement. That is if for this, else if, and else, or else if over here. You can do whatever you want. So let us do one thing, and whatever I'm doing over here, it just means that nested ifs or nested if else statements. Nested means one inside other. So inside this else statement, I'm going to use more ifs and else if. That's why it is known as nested if. Now for if it is even, you have to do a simple thing. You just have to check if n is going from 2, so that is n will be greater than or equal to 2, and means these two symbols. So and I'll explain to you. Hold on. So and n should be less than or equals to 5, they have told us. So if this is the case, then what do you have to do? I forgot. Wow. So if this is the case, you have to print out not weird. So simply print out not weird. And see, why I wrote and, because see, if n is less than or equals to 2, sorry, not less, if n is greater than or equal to 2, or if it is less than or equal to 5, it means that n will go from 2 to 5, And means these two conditions should satisfy simultaneously. If any one of them is not satisfied, then this whole condition will be false and it will go to the next statement, right? So this was for n to be from 2 to 5. Now we will use else if statement. So else if, see, we went from 2 to 5, now we have to go from 6 to 20 if I'm not wrong. Let us check it. Yeah, we checked for 2 to 5, just erase it. 6 to 20. So for it to be 6 to 20, first of all, it will have to be, n will have to be greater than or equals to, so that is this statement or condition, and simultaneously it will have to be less than or equals to 20. That means it will go from 6 to 20, but because that's why I used and actually. Then it will go from 6 up to 20. Then you have to do a simple thing, just print out weird. Easy enough, but W should be capital. And remember, if you can do one thing, you can write else if, or you can simply write else. Why? Because now only one condition is remaining, that we'll erase this thing. Now if n is greater than 20, see, if it is going from 2 to 5, then fine, this will get executed, this statement. If it is from 6 to 20, then this will get executed. But if it is not 2 to 5, this will not get executed. If it is not from 6 to 20, then this will not get executed. So these two will not get executed, which means that n is not from 2 to 20, which means that n will be greater than 20. So you can simply write else now, or you can obviously write else if, but you can write else statement directly because it is obviously greater than 20. Else simply write system.out.println not weird, and that's all that you have to do. I'll just run this code and check for the sample test cases. So the sample over they have told us 3 and just output to be weird, 3, 24, whatever, you know. Let's check for 3. So write 3 and hit enter, weird. So it is right. So see, when I wrote 3, it means that this statement will get executed. Because 3 modulo 2 is 1 or whatever it is not equal to 0. So it will print out weird as output, which is right. So it was for odd. But if we write any even number now, which means these statements will get executed. So let us check for this. So even number from 2 to 5 will be 4. So I'll just run this code, press 4, hit enter, not weird, which is right. Then from 6 to 20, even number will be say 12, right? So from 6 to 20 we wrote 12 and weird, which means it is right. Then else, even number greater than 20, right? So greater than 20, even number will be say 26. Hit enter, not weird, which means it is right. You can write any random number, odd number suppose. So greater than 20, say odd number is 37. See, now if I write 37, this will not get executed. Why? Because if it is odd, then we have automatically checked it and we just directly jumped out of this loop and the program got terminated, or that is, it got finished. But if it is not satisfied, that is, if this condition is not satisfied, then only we'll jump to this block. So if this is satisfied, then the program will get not necessarily it will get terminated. It will just go outside this else block. It will not execute any of these statements inside of this else block. It will jump to this statement. But here in this case we don't have anything, so the program will get terminated directly. And remember, you'll do one thing. Now let us say if it is even. I'll explain to you all once more. So if it is even, which means that this condition is not satisfied, so this will not get executed at all. So if this condition is false, then it will have to go to this else statement, and inside this else statement it will check these 3 statements again. So if it is this statement for 26 it is not satisfied, so this statement will not execute it. Then it will jump to this statement. Again this is not satisfied. Remember, because it is not less than 20. 26 is not less than 20. So this condition is not satisfied. So, and this as well actually. No, actually this is satisfied because see, 26 is greater than 6. So this is true actually, but this is false. And the solution or the answer of true and false is false always. It is not or, it is and. Remember, there is a difference between or and. So if these two statements don't get satisfied, which means we are left with this statement which is not weird and print out not weird. Now that is all actually. We can do one thing for checking the sample test cases and everything. I'll just copy all these things. And remember, for taking in scanner, you have to import java.utilities. Util means utility packages in Java, and .scanner or .star asterisk, whatever you want. So I'll just copy this code and paste it on HackerRank so that we can check all the test cases. And remember, they have told us many things over here because actually we don't need all these imports and all. That's why I didn't code it over. I used IntelliJ. Let us submit it because I know this. When I run code, it will check for all the sample test cases. I checked it. I know that is right because we checked pretty much for everything. So I'll just submit it directly. Let us see what happens. Actually, when I submit it, they'll check for each and every sample test case and they'll show us the answer if each and every test case is satisfied. Even if one of the test cases is not satisfied, then they'll give us not full marks. This problem is for 10 marks, then they'll not give us complete marks. But if you see in this case, each and every test case has satisfied and there's no error. So that's all from my side. You can subscribe to my channel for more programming related content, and if you feel free to ask me any doubt that you have. So that's all from my side. Stay tuned and keep learning. Thank you.